Okay, we are recording now, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on captions also for anyone that finds that a little bit easier to use to understand what's going on. So thank you again for being here today. My name is Sheila McKnight, and I'm the Professional Development Coordinator here in the Economics Department. And I also am in charge of coordinating the Field Study Program. So I'm here to tell you about the Field Study Program today. And while I still have just one or two people coming in, I'll just give a plug for another event we have coming up on May 3rd. We have our final First Friday speaker series in the Economics Department for students focused on professional development. And so May 3rd will be the last one for this year. And it's at 12 noon to 1:30. It'll be a speaker session with LeBaron Myers, who is a consultant, a personal consultant, and a motivating speaker, and also part of Santa Cruz Works, which is a local organization that sponsors and works with tech companies and new companies all over Santa Cruz. They also have linked us to several of our internship opportunities, etc. So LeBaron will be coming and talking about communication and networking and how to use what you've got going on to get opportunities in the future. So put that on your calendar, Friday, May 3rd at 12 noon. You do need to RSVP for it, and I'll let you know where you can do that. It's on our calendar website. It's on the Economics Department website, etc. So let's get started on our presentation today. For those of you that may have just come in the last couple of minutes, just a reminder, we are recording this meeting, and you can put your questions in the chat or simply raise your hand or unmute to speak up too. But I think I'll cover everything, and then if you still have questions at the end, we'll field those also. My goal here today is to show you where all the information is located to make it easy for you to go back and find it all later. So I'm going to start by looking at our website and showing you where you can access everything and talk about what the field study program is, how to apply, what the deadlines are, and what you can expect once you get into the program. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you. And okay, now you should be looking at my screen with me, and hang on just a second. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. So I actually started here on the field study page, but let me go up and click on the main economics page up here in the title first. And this page is the landing page for the economics department. So I wanted you to just notice here on this main page, here's some economic events on the left, the field study information sessions, which you're in one now. Applications for summer field study are due by the end of this month on April 29th, 10 days from now. And the First Friday Professional Development Speaker Series that I mentioned a few minutes ago from May 3rd, if you're interested in attending that, please go to this link and RSVP if you can make it. We'd love to see you there. So from this main page to get information about field study, go over here to undergraduates because the Economics Department Field Study Program focuses on our undergraduates, although sometimes I have master's students that may do an internship through it also. So using the drop-down menu, come over here to Field Study Program, and we'll click on that, and that should take us to, sorry, my computer's not as fast as I like it to be. So now we're on the Economic Santa Cruz Field Study page, and it's going to describe here what the program is, how to sign up right here for one of these sessions, which you're at, so you don't need that. But if you want to apply, this is where the application will sit, and I'll explain to you more about that shortly. But I want you to know where it is, right on this field study page. Just scroll down a little bit, and there's a link right to it. So if you want to apply for summer 2024, you could link right here. If you wanted to apply for fall 2024, you could link on the second link here where it says apply for fall 24. If you're just here for information right now and you want to apply for a session, or excuse me, an opportunity in the future next year, next academic year, that's okay. You'll just come back to this webpage and these links will be here for the next sessions for winter at 25, etc. Keep in mind, by the way, that often during the fall quarter at UC Santa Cruz, recruiters are there. There's lots of job fairs and things that come up. You can find the links to those at the Career Success Center on their webpage, the UC Santa Cruz Career Center. But the fall is a time where a lot of businesses are recruiting for summer internships and paid internships for the next year. So if you don't have something lined up for this summer, and maybe you want to have a paid long-term internship for next summer, look for those opportunities to start showing up in the fall and focus on those. We do have opportunities for this summer, so don't think we don't. Okay, this is where you can find, again, the applications to apply, and I'll go in more with what that takes. But the key pieces to know is that you need to be eligible to the program. So to apply, everyone that fixed the requirements will get to come into the program. Then whether or not you get a placement in an internship is going to be partly up to you. So this is a professional development program that's meant to help you get experience applying for jobs, reviewing job descriptions, looking for keywords, learning to write a cover letter, learning to refine your resume as you go to help you better focus on a job search. So everything that you learn in this internship program, some of you may already know it, some of you may not, but it'll all serve you well going forward. Like I said, whether or not you actually secure an internship for the next quarter. So requirements. You must be a junior or senior by the time you start your internship. So if you're a sophomore right now and you're gonna intern in the fall, as long as you have the academic listing as a junior or a senior, you meet that requirement. You need to be a declared economics or combined economics major. So as many of you know, we have business management economics, straight economics, environmental economics, economics and math, global economics. So all of those are valid economics majors or combined majors, so you qualify for the program. The way the program works is you're going to get basically 3 legs of support through your internship and through the program. So you'll have the field study coordinator, that's me. And the field study coordinator works in the economics department to bring everybody together. So I have a summer 2024 cohort. You'll get invited to join in a Canvas shell where I manage the cohort. And you'll get instructions on how to go from there to fill the requirements and to get an internship and sign up for academic credit and everything like that. Hang on just a second. When I have a chat, I like to be able to if you're currently a sophomore, is there any chance I can join field study this summer? It depends on what your status will be at the end of spring. Academically, some students kick in at the end of spring to a junior level, from sophomore to junior level. So if in summer you're still listed as sophomore, then you don't qualify yet. So you can check with your academic advisor or your own academic record to see when it's going to switch for you. Thank you for the question, by the way. So the other requirements, you need to have passed intermediate microeconomics, intermediate macroeconomics, and introduction to econometrics. These are all required courses for declared economics majors, except for in the environmental program. I believe they're optional. But for this program, everybody needs to have passed those with a successful grade to be eligible for the program. And you need to be in good academic standing. So when you apply to our program, I will give you a Google form to fill out. That's what that link takes you to when I say to apply. And it's going to ask you questions about these requirements here, including what quarter, meaning fall, winter, spring, summer, and what year you took 100A, 100B, and 113. So when I say year, I don't mean first year, second year, third year. I mean 2024, 2023, or 2022. So the application consists of your confirming this information, and then I download the application. I just go into your academic record. I do check these things to make sure you qualify. Again, if you meet these requirements, you qualify and you'll get into the program. And then depending on what kind of effort you put forward, the results will come from there, just like when you're out working in a labor market also. And that's is where I'm here to help you. So I mentioned there's going to be 3 pieces of support for you in this program. The field study coordinator, that's me. You will also be assigned an economics department faculty sponsor. That faculty sponsor will help you bridge the learning between what you're doing in the real world job and what you've been studying academically, and they'll guide you into trying to think about that bridge there. And you'll be working with them. They'll just guide you. You'll meet twice with them during your internship, and they'll guide you on writing a paper or working on a project of a certain length that meets the requirement for your academic credits. So you'll have the field study coordinator here in the economics department. You'll have a faculty sponsor assigned to you in the economics department. Now, during the summer, the sponsorship works a little bit differently. So you will be required to get your own, secure your own sponsor. You won't be assigned it, but I'll give you a list of faculty that I believe would be available, and you'll just ask. And if they say yes, great. And if not, we'll move on to another faculty sponsor. So I can help you with that also, or whoever is in here working as field study coordinator will help you fill those requirements to get that. So field study coordinator, faculty sponsor, and then you're going to be getting a job of some kind. It may be in a nonprofit organization, or it may be a government job at the county, or it could be in a startup company, or it could be in an established large accounting firm somewhere. So there's lots of opportunities out there, and you'll apply for jobs with a cover letter and a resume. You'll wait to get feedback from the job you applied to. And then if you get offered a position, we make sure it matches an internship description that includes it's not 100% remote. So the employer will also have some requirements for you, but they'll be the employer's supervisor. So here's your 3-legged support: field study coordinator, faculty sponsor, and field study supervisor. That supervisor is the person that's making you an offer for a job, and also your supervisor at work. They'll work with you on deciding which days of the week you work, how many hours you work. Many of the job listings will say, we'd like the person to work 4 to 6 hours a week for a 2-unit internship. Or they may say, we'd like them to work 12 hours a week for a 5-unit internship. But that employer supervisor is the 3rd leg of this internship program. So I'm going to tell you a few more things about the employer supervisor portion of it. But first, let me roll up here on the web page. Just to the left, the navigation menu under field study. There's all these other links for you to go to get more information. Application and interview tips are in general application and interview tips, not specifically for our program, but it's about applying to jobs out there. How do you do it? And what are some ways that are acceptable or not acceptable? What are some best practices, etc. The calendar that's listed here is the field study calendar. It'll show the outward facing events such as this orientation, deadlines for application, the quarter and the week that we're in each quarter for the program, etc. We will also, as I said, once you're in the program, you'll be in a Canvas shell where I keep the cohort informed of information together, and you'll get weekly notices just saying it's week 1 in the internship, keep these things in mind, etc. The syllabus here I'm going to go over for you in just a second. The internship database that's linked here is the database that the economics department keeps with possible opportunities and jobs. We work throughout the year to build community relationships with nonprofits, for-profit, startup companies out there, and to secure opportunities for you guys that might give you a leg up in getting the job and also in getting future jobs going forward. So once you're in the program, I'll open this database for you, and that's a selection of positions that you can start working towards. There'll also be other places where you'll look for internships, and that'll include Handshake and LinkedIn and the Monterey Bay Internship Program and the Career Success Center, where they list all the internships throughout the college and at other places. So there's lots of places to get an internship. You will not automatically be placed in one in this program. You're going to learn to get an offer and then either accept the offer or not. So we'll talk more about that once you're in the Canvas shell. But again, these links, information sessions, that's this session you're doing right now. Faculty sponsors are a list of some of the faculty that in the past have been sponsors in the program. Again, during fall, winter, and spring, they're assigned to you. You don't get to pick. Internship employer information is an important page. So say you've already secured an internship at an accounting firm somewhere for the summertime. Now we're going to need to make sure that the employer is on board with you getting academic credit for your internship, because they're going to have a little bit of a responsibility too. They're going to have a responsibility to give you some training, to supervise you, to make it not 100% remote, to make sure that you're not just doing busy work, because if it's an unpaid internship, it has to be of value for the student, and you will only get academic credit if it is of value. So there's a partnership there. We do want any unpaid internships to follow the Fair Labor Standards Act, and that link is also on the employer page. I can take a minute and go back to that employer page, but first I want to link to the syllabus so I make sure everybody really understands what this program is about. So the syllabus is what every course where you get academic credit at UC Santa Cruz, it's an agreement between you and the school about what's going to be required to get you academic credit. And so for each quarter that you're taking this program, there will be a syllabus, and the basics of it are right here. The specific deadlines will be hosted in the Canvas shell where you're working on getting your internship. So basically, this email address, econintern@ucsantacruz.edu, goes directly to your field study coordinator. I'm the person getting all those right now, but that's the best way to contact the field study coordinator. This phone number here, same thing. I'm coordinating the program. That's my office phone number. You leave a voicemail there, and I can get back to you about anything in the program. So required meetings, you're going to be attending a required meeting once you're in the program and start your internship. The internships again run from the start of each quarter for 10 weeks. And about week 5, that's mid-quarter, we'll do a meeting on Zoom with the field study coordinator and a few other of students that are taking internships. And that mid-quarter meeting is a check-in where you can share what you're doing in your internship, hear what some other students are doing, discuss any issues that may have come up, questions that you may have. We share best practices, we share software and hardware applications, and we look to see what's going on and what can we learn from each other. So that's one meeting mid-quarter. It usually lasts about 45 minutes on Zoom. You'll also, as I said, get some weekly updates from me, the field study coordinator, or who's ever coordinating your program at the time. The student, you would be responsible for contacting your faculty sponsor. This again is a professional development exercise. How do you reach out and ask somebody for something, for a meeting, for a request to discuss something, for them to be your sponsor, to sign your contract? So you want to practice reaching out using professional language, using professional emails, etc. So again, I try to bring material into the Canvas shell for you that'll be useful for you in doing these kinds of things. How to write an effective email is a good one that I like to have students make sure you read. So mid-quarter meetings, I said, occur during week 5 in any semester. And here are the real final academic requirements. To earn 2 units, you're going to work 5 to 6 hours a week, and you have a 5-page paper or project. To earn 5 units, you work 12 to 14 hours a week for 10 weeks, and you'll have a 10-page paper or project. If, and many students do this during the summer because they're working at full-time paid jobs or something, if you want to earn 10 units in 1 quarter, you work 24 to 28 hours per week, and you turn in a project of 20 pages to your faculty sponsor. Now, if you've never written a paper very long and this seems intimidating to you, don't worry. You'll get tips and tricks along the way, and your faculty sponsor can guide you there, and the field study coordinator, that's me, can also help along the way. So you'll keep track of your field study hours so that you make sure you meet these academic requirements. For instance, if for some reason you didn't start to work the first week of the quarter and you were in a 2-unit internship, you would need to make up your 5 or 6 hours from week 1, make it up in either week 2 or somewhere along the way. The idea is that you are working for 10 weeks and spreading out your learning. And then I always suggest that our interns keep track of what are you doing each week? What are you learning? What are your insights? What are your takeaways? What are your questions? What are your best practices? And then at the end of 10 weeks, you look back and you can see some things that seemed confusing, some things that worked well, a lot of your learning, and this is going to inform your paper or your project going forward. So it becomes a lot easier if you're working on it each week as you go. There are no examinations. Your grade will be based on pass, no pass. It's not a letter grade for this program. So either you fill the requirements and write an acceptable paper and get an acceptable evaluation from your employer supervisor at the end, or you don't. In most cases, if you're just doing everything you need to do, you pass and it works out well. If you need some help at the end with your paper, there are resources, but again, we try to guide you along the way so that it's not left to the last minute, so you know what's expected and it becomes easy. Experiential learning, it's the process of going through it all and coming out in the end with the learning from it. So the course schedule is, again, along with a quarter. Week 1, your hours begin and contracts are due by that Friday. Week 2, you make up any missed hours. Week 3, check in with your faculty sponsor. Week 4, let the field study coordinator know if you might want to continue with this same job the following quarter. Sometimes an employer may want you to, and based on how it goes in the first few weeks, you may decide, I want to do another field study again and just stay in this job for 2 quarters instead of 1. Week 5 is when we do our midterm meetings. The field study coordinator sends out a schedule. You sign up for one and also sends out a mid-quarter questionnaire, and you fill that out. Week 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, again, you're continuing to work in your internships. You're getting some reminders along the way from your field study coordinator. And then by week 10, there'll be an evaluation sent out. It's on a Google form. It'll be sent by me, the field study coordinator. You will also have an assignment in Canvas to update your job description. So the point here is to evaluate what was the job when you applied to it and what were your expectations. What did you end up doing? Did it match the job description or was it different? And I asked the question, would you recommend this for another intern? And what is your takeaway? Would you give advice to another intern? Also, at the end of the 10 weeks, your final paper project will be due and it'll be submitted directly to your faculty sponsor. So I don't ever see that unless you shared it with me for some reason. Your employer does not see that unless you wanted to share it with them. That goes directly to your economics department faculty sponsor. So I've covered a lot of information here. And so I want to take a moment to stop sharing the website and see if I can answer some questions for you. Before I ask that, let me offer just a couple of things that I think I forgot to say. This program fills the PRS University of California, Santa Cruz graduation requirement that every undergraduate student to graduate has to do a practice service learning requirement for at least 2 units. So if you take a 2, a 5, or a 10 unit field study and get enrolled in it for credit, then this will fill that requirement. The way that you get enrolled for credit is after you've secured an internship and completed an internship contract, which I supply for you in Canvas and give you instructions on how to do it, then you will be given an ad code. And the field study program is considered an independent study. So you won't find it in the course registrar when you're looking to enroll in courses. You'll actually get a special code to add it later. And if you are doing a summer internship and want academic credit, you will need to sign up for summer school because this is outside the regular fall, winter, spring quarters that we're on. The other item I wanted to quickly mention is international students are eligible. Depending on visa status, there's some extra paperwork that you would have to fill out. So if you are international and wanted to participate, then you want to secure an internship a little bit sooner because there's some extra paperwork that takes a couple of weeks with your visa to make sure it gets taken care of before you can actually add the class. So that was a lot of information. I wanted you to know exactly where it was located so that you could go back to it. And I want you to know you can always send an email to econintern@ucsc.edu with other questions also. But it's helpful when you're applying for jobs if you know where to go for questions, and then you can ask somebody else later, but you want to show a job or an employer that you know how to access their website and to look things up there. And if you can't find it there, you're more than happy asking questions and willing to do that. Employers want to see persistence and a willingness to learn. In many cases, your internship may be paid or unpaid, but in the same instance, the employer is putting time in to train you and they want you to want to be there. They want to know that you want to learn. So if you show passion and enthusiasm and a willingness to put in the effort, they put in more effort back too. So that's my pitch for that part. Questions, anyone? Okay, I know one person here already has an internship for the summer, and we're working on getting that started with all the paperwork that's needed. If other people have already secured an internship, you can just send me a message and let me know where that internship is, and also just fill out that application. I am already approving applications. I've had 31 of them already for summer, and those people have been joined in my Canvas shell, and I will be starting sending out messages about that to get people going there. But I'm here to help you guys. And my job really is to teach you how to do this yourself so that going forward, you gain these extra skills as a leg up for when you graduate. Is it easy to get into classes of 5 credit field study if you request it after fulfilling eligibility? So it's not that we place you into it. It's you need to get a job offer, an internship offer from someone out there. It could be an internship on campus. It could be with a nonprofit that you're interested in volunteering for, but they have internships. It could be something out of our database. It could be a job out there that's offered an internship that you bring in. And depending on what the employer is looking for, they may want to hire you or give you an offer for a certain number of hours. That hour number coincides with the unit level. So again, if they offer you a job where you work 4 to 6 hours a week, that's a 2-unit internship. If they offer you an opportunity to work 10 to 12 hours a week, that's a 5-unit internship. So that agreement will be between you and the employer. And if that's what you want to go for, and they are willing to train you and employ you during those timeframes, whatever you work out with them, then 5 units is certainly possible. There's no limit to that necessarily. No limit to the number of people that can get 5 units. It just really depends on the job offer that you get and what you're willing to do. Great, an internship that's full-time for 3 months, you can get 10 credits if you wanted to. It would work over a 10-week time period. If you were working full-time at 40 hours a week, that fulfills 24 to 28 hours a week for your internship. If you prefer to work more than 28 or 24 to 28 hours, that's okay. And if you're getting paid for it, awesome, that's great. But we can get you signed up for credit. If somewhere along the way you've already taken 5 units of field study credit in the program earlier and you're coming back now, then the maximum you could get would be 5 units, but you could still work your full-time job and all of that. So there's lots of opportunity and flexibility there. Other questions? Okay, while you're thinking about it, keep in mind that if you have a question, probably other people do too. So whether or not you choose to apply to the field study program, I want to encourage you from the professional development standpoint to create a LinkedIn page and add a picture of you smiling on it. I want to encourage you to reach out to the Career Success Center here at UC Santa Cruz. They have a lot of tips, tricks. They will review resumes. They offer a lot of career fairs and job fairs. There's a career fair coming up just later this month in about 6 days, I believe, on the 25th of April. You can find that link to the event on the UC Santa Cruz Career Success website. Now, that website has a lot of links and a lot of pages. Every now and then I find one's broken or something. Don't let that discourage you. Just keep looking and digging and send them email messages. They'll happy to put you, direct you into the correct place. But using the services they offer and using the job site Handshake, which is a college level job site that many universities use, but it's specifically fielding jobs that might be local in Santa Cruz, or they could be general out there, just get posted here. So there's lots of opportunity there too. It also gives you an opportunity to do the job research that you need to start to identify keywords that employers are looking for in skills and to start working your resume to apply specifically for jobs by looking at what they're looking for and then taking your transferable skills and phrasing it that way so that they can see. So you show them through your transferable skills how valuable you could be to them and what you offer. Other questions or comments, anyone? Okay, if you don't have any other questions or comments now and you think of them later, please feel free again to check the website, to send me email. You can sign right up and ask your questions once you get into the Canvas cohort also. So there's lots of opportunities. And I hope at some point that all of you are either in the field study program or try coming to one of the professional development events that the department offers, because they're all created and designed for you students, and you're going to get more out of it the more you participate in it. So thank you for coming today. I appreciate it. I will post this recording somewhere on our website for people that couldn't make it, or if you want to go back and check the notes to see what I said, and hopefully I said everything correctly. If I made a mistake, just let me know. So if you have other questions, stay for the rest. I'm happy to answer questions. Otherwise, thank you again for coming. I appreciate it. Mason, questions? Okay, thank you.